Do you know all of these iPadOS 15 multitasking tips? Watch part 1 of our video as we consider a ton of multitasking ins and outs for the iPad running iPadOS 15. Check it out. iMazing is the Swiss Army knife for iOS device management for Mac and Windows. Use it to make time machine style wireless backups and easily transfer documents, media, and content. Explore system files, access device and battery diagnostics, and more. All of your data stays local on your computer or the drive of your choice. And backups can be encrypted for maximum privacy. With iMazing, you can dig into your iPhone's backup history, browse your photo library without syncing, and export multiple versions. You can even save and export WhatsApp chats and iOS messages, and it's all ready for Apple's latest software and hardware. It's no wonder why iMazing is the most popular all-purpose iPhone and iPad manager for Mac and PC. For a limited time, get 30% off iMazing by clicking the link in the description. Special thanks to iMazing for sponsoring 9 to 5 Mac. So for the first 3.5 minutes or so, we're going to consider some of the basics, but these basics are necessary to really get the most out of iPad multitasking. But feel free, please, to skip ahead using the timestamps below. So let's start off with the very basics. Opening the dock is super simple, super easy. All you need to do is when an app is open, just swipe up like that, just a little bit to invoke the dock. And again, just swipe up like that from the bottom of the screen to open the dock. Now, you can also use the dock to quickly switch between apps. Just open the dock, tap the app that you want to switch to. Simple as that. And you can switch back or switch to another app just like that. Now, what's nice is that you get the recents area to the right side of the dock, and that will show your recently launched apps that aren't actually stored within the dock. So that allows you to quickly access apps that you have recently launched. Now, not everyone appreciates having the recent apps there. If you'd like to disable it, you can go to Settings, go to Home Screen and Dock, and then you will see under the Dock section, you'll see an option to show suggested recent apps in dock. You can disable that if you want to disable recents. Now, opening the app switcher involves swiping up from the bottom of the screen as well, but the difference is you swipe up, hold briefly, and then the app switcher will appear. Now, when you're in an app, you'll see the home indicator at the bottom of the screen. To open the dock within an app, you simply swipe up quickly like that. And then when you want to open up the app switcher, swipe up, hold briefly, and then release, and that will open the app switcher. Super simple, super easy. And even if the dock isn't currently displayed, simply swipe up, hold for a second, and then bring in the app switcher. Now, you can also use a 4 or 5 pinch gesture like that. Again, pinch like this with 4 or 5 fingers to open the app switcher. Now, here's how to kill apps. So once the app switcher is open, you simply swipe up on one of the app cards to kill that app. Now, if you'd like to go back home, all you do is simply swipe up from the bottom of the screen like that. But you can also use a pinch gesture like that to get back to the home screen. So again, a 4 or 5 finger pinch goes back home. Now, you can also use a 4 or 5 finger swipe gesture to swipe between open applications just like that. Now, you can also swipe on the home indicator that appears when an app is open to swipe between apps as well. So you simply swipe your finger left or right on the home indicator like that to swipe between apps. So we're going to go all the way to the end of our list of apps. We have one more after this. This is the last one. You see, you can go no further, and then you can swipe in the other direction to go back. Now, if you're at the home screen, you can use that same gesture to quickly view the last opened app. Simply swipe right here at the bottom of the screen. That will open the last opened app. Let's do it again. Swipe, and that opens your app. Super simple. Now, you can also peek at neighboring apps using gestures, and this can be handy for just taking a quick peek at neighboring apps. Now things get a little bit more interesting here with the multitasking menu, which is new for iPadOS 15. So we're going to show you how to use this multitasking menu to go from a full screen app to a slide over app. So you simply tap that little multitasking button indicated by the little 3 dots at the top of the screen, and there you get the multitasking menu. So you get the full screen, which we're already in, you get the split view, and then you get the slide over on the right. So you simply tap one of those. You can see it goes all the way over to the right side, and then it says choose another app for slide over. So you simply choose your other app, and that app will be full screen, while the music app will be the slide over app, as you can see right there. Super nice new feature in iPadOS 15. Now, let's show you how to go from a full screen to a split view using the multitasking menu. So you simply tap it, tap the split view button. It goes over to the left right here. Now it says choose another app for split view. We're going to choose another app, podcast app, and there you go. Podcast app on the right, the music app on the left. Now the multitasking menu will not appear in apps that do not support multitasking. For instance, the settings app doesn't support multitasking at all, so no multitasking menu option there at the top. And I can further illustrate the settings app lack of multitasking capability by invoking slide over for Tweetbot and then choosing settings as the second app. Notice settings is completely grayed out in the background and I can't interact with it at all. Now you'll get a not supported warning for split view or multiple windows for apps that don't support. For instance, like the music app, it will not support multiple instances of itself, so you get the corresponding error message. Now let's go more in depth with slide over. So slide over to full screen using the multitasking menu. Simply tap the multitasking menu at the top of the slide over window, tap the full screen button, and there you go, slide over to full screen. Now you can also go slide over to split view using the multitasking menu. So again, tap that menu, tap the split view option, and then choose the side that you want it to appear on, and the other app will appear on the opposite side. Just like that. Super simple, super easy. You can also go slide over to full screen using drag and drop. So simply tap, drag right here, pull up to the very top of the screen, release, and there you go. Now you can also go from slide over to split view using drag and drop. So just going to drag either to the right side or to the left side and release like that. Now, you can abort choosing a slide over when you invoke via the multitasking menu. Instead of tapping another app, simply tap the window on the side of the screen like that. And of course, you can perform a manual slide over from the dock. So you just swipe up to reveal the dock, tap and drag the app icon up into the middle of the screen and release like that. Now you can also choose another app or the same app for your slide over. So we're invoking slide over from the multitasking menu. Here I have the Things app. I opened up another instances of Things, and that can be super handy for certain apps. Now, did you know you could fully interact with both apps simultaneously, one in the slide over, one in the full screen? Yeah, you could do that. But you can also move slide over to either side with ease. So at the top, just drag over like that to move over to the left side. You can move back over to the right side, and you can also drag from here, just like that. Now you can also hide or reveal slide over on either side. So simply drag over to the side. You'll see a little grabber that appears there. And then if you want to reveal it, you simply drag over from the right side like that. And then you can move it all the way over to the other side and hide it on the other side as well. And again, you see the grabber that indicates that there's a slide over window there. Simply drag over to reveal it again. Now here's something cool. You can move in one fell swoop all the way over from the hidden area on the left to the right side and vice versa. So drag all the way over like that. Now, here's the cool thing about slide over. It can contain multiple applications. We're going to simply drag and drop multiple apps from the dock to the slide over. Let me show you. So I'm going to drag music to the slide over like that. We're going to drag podcast. Let's drag another. So how about we drag the Stocks app to our slide over as well? All right, so now we have multiple apps in that slide over. And of course, I can move the whole group like that. Now, you can switch between slide over apps either by tapping the app icon in the dock that corresponds to the app in the slide over. That's one way to do so. Not very efficient, but possible. The better way is to swipe on the home indicator like this, either left or right, to swipe through or cycle through all the available apps in that slide over. And you can do that on either side of the screen. Now, of course, yes, you can swipe on the home indicator to cycle through those apps, but if you want to go directly to a specific app, invoke the switcher, the app switcher for slide over. Just like that, you simply swipe up from the bottom of the screen just like you would on a full screen app. That reveals the app switcher and you can go directly to the app that you want to go to. That can be handy if you have a lot of apps in your slide over. Now, you can also kill slide over apps from the app switcher. Simply swipe up on an app that you want to kill, just like you would from the full screen app switcher. So now I just have 2 apps remaining and I can swipe through them like that or re-invoke the app switcher. Okay, so let's talk about split view. We're going to go from full screen to split view using the multitasking menu. So first of all, let's go into a split view using that menu. And now when we're in split view, simply tap the multitasking menu and then tap the full screen button like that. Now you can choose either split view side and select the multitasking menu and then tap the slide over option. We're going to put a slide over on the left side. And now we're going to go from split view to full screen manually to simply swipe up to the top of the page like that. And go from split view to slide over manually, simply swipe down like that. And now we're in slide over. Now you can abort choosing a split view just like you could abort choosing a slide over. Just tap the edge of the app. Now you can go into a manual split view from the dock. Simply drag up from the dock the app you want to put in the split view. Just like this. Super simple, super easy, left or right side. Now, you can swap a split view simply by tapping the multitasking menu, select split view, and then tapping either side to swap sides. So let me show you that again. Tap the multitasking menu, tap split view, and then choose the side. Obviously, you choose the opposite side that the split view window is currently on. Now, you can also simply use your finger and drag from the multitasking menu just like this to change sides. Now you can also swipe left or right on the multitasking menu to quickly engage split view. Instead of having to go in and tap the button, simply swipe like that to the left side if you want the split view window or the new window to appear on the right side. And if you want the new window to appear on the left side, you simply swipe to the right like that and then tap the app that you want to add. Now to manually replace split view apps, simply drag from the dock the app that you want to replace onto either side of the split view. We did the right side, and now we can drag podcast to the left side. Now you can choose another app or the same app for a split view. So here I have the Notes app and the Music app, but I can choose two Notes app instances. For certain apps, it will support multiple windows for each application, such as the Notes app. So you can have two different notes on either side. Super, super handy feature. Now this will also work for certain third-party apps that have multi-window support built in, like Things. So we have Things open in a full screen. Simply open up the dock. We're going to drag to the left side to open up a split view. Now we have two instances of Things. That's super handy. Now you can change the split view ratio. Of course, it defaults to 50-50, but you can change the ratio simply by dragging like this. So you have that smaller view on the right, larger view on the left with the sidebar, which is super handy. So you can tap different notes, different projects within Things on the left side. But here on this smaller window on the right side, you only have the option to choose either the sidebar itself or an individual note. So you can see the benefit of having that larger view because it allows you to view both the sidebar and the note details. Now you can also swipe down from the multitasking menu bar to quickly choose a different application like that. And that's super useful when you want to quickly swap out an application. Now, let me show you how to use Spotlight to bring other apps in a split view. So just swipe down like that. And now instead of choosing an app from the home screen or the dock, you simply swipe down to invoke the Spotlight search, and there you can tap one of these Siri suggestions if you want to, or you can even type in the Spotlight search and search for an app that you wish to add to the split view. Now, unfortunately, because I don't have a keyboard attached, it doesn't actually bring up the keyboard menu. That almost seems like a bug, but it will work with the hardware keyboard. So I'm just going to type in a search, Apollo. There we go. So I can just tap on Apollo like that and bring that in the split view from the Spotlight search. Now you can also use your app library. Just tap on the app library, choose any of the apps you want to add to your split view. We're going to add in Tweetbot like that. Now you can also add in from the app library search. So either the search or the whole list of apps, you can just tap like that. Now you can long press the Safari link to create a split view as well. Just long press like that and choose, you guessed it, open in split view. So just tap that. That will open that link in a corresponding window in the split view, just like that. Now you can also create a split view directly from the same app. For instance, here in Notes, I can simply drag a note to either side to create a split view just like that. Now, you can also have a slide over along with your split view and interact with all. So we're going to drag up podcast. Now notice on that side, it will replace that. It will replace that. But if I put it in the middle, notice the radius. See the radius? You can tell it's a split view because the radius changes just like that. Now we have a split view and a slide over app. And guess what? Yeah, we can interact with all three of those apps simultaneously. So let's go ahead and do it. Pretty cool, huh? What do you guys think? Let me know down below in the comment section. Thumbs up if you appreciate this video. Now let's talk about some really cool stuff regarding the app switcher. So you can kill multiple apps at once with the app switcher. Just swipe up like that. You can also combine two apps into a split view directly from the app switcher like this. And that creates a split view space just like that. Now you can also rearrange split view spaces. So if I want music on the left side or I want notes on the right side, I can do so. No problem whatsoever. And guess what? I can kill apps in a split view space. If I want to keep music, but I want to kill Safari, watch what happens. I swipe up on Safari like that and music goes into a full screen app. Now, I can also move apps out of split view just like that so they both turn into full screen apps. Or I can move app from full screen into a split view and watch what happens to the other app. It goes out to occupy its own full screen window and it creates the split view. Now, slide over windows are also displayed within the app switcher. As you can see here, 3 slide over windows right there in the app switcher. I can tap on each of those to switch right to that application. So again, I can go back to the app switcher, tap on the other split view window. It'll open up the background app just the same, but then go directly to that split view. Now you can kill a slide over window directly from the app switcher. Simply swipe up as you would expect. And guess what? You can move an app from slide over into a split view space. As you can see there, you can also move an app to the slide over. So I'm going to move the music app from the split view space directly back into slide over. You can also move an app from slide over into full screen. So just drag over like that, and now music is full screen. Now let's talk about the shelf, something also new in iPadOS 15. This displays whenever opening up an app from the home screen with multiple windows. So let me show you how this is. Right now you don't see the shelf because I only have one Notes app window, but now I have 2 Notes app windows as you can see there. I'm going to move one of those windows from this split view space over to another split view space, so it's going to share with music. So now I have 2 Notes app windows as you can see there. Now watch what happens when I open up the Notes app from the home screen. Now you see the shelf automatically displays because it recognizes, hey, you have multiple Notes app windows. So let me show you them all. Now, the shelf will show all windows related to an app. So you can see I have a slide over window here. I have a split view space with a Notes app window within that space. And then I have my full screen window right here, which is the one we're looking at now. Now the current working window is denoted by the dark application icon with the white background around it. So you know that one is the current window that we're working with. Now, if you open the dock and tap the app icon itself, that's another way to invoke the shelf. So if you started using the app, the shelf goes away, but you want the shelf to reappear, simply tap on the app icon like that. It'll bring the shelf back just like that. Now, you can also tap to switch between open windows using the shelf, obviously, right? So you just simply tap on the shelf and that'll switch between those open windows. Now you can add windows to the shelf simply by tapping new window. So basically this adds a new app window, and you can add lots of app windows related to the app. So the Notes app has lots of windows now, as you can see. I don't know the limit. Does anyone know the limit? Let me know down below in the comment section, but it seems like a lot, let me tell you. And of course, you can easily switch between any of these notes as you scroll through. Just tap it, and you can see the currently working note gets the dark window. You can also close windows directly from the shelf. Simply swipe up as you would expect, right? Just like on the app switcher. You can also even close 1/2 of a split view space via the shelf. Yeah, that's really cool. Simply swipe up to close out the music app or close out the Notes app. Now I'm going to close out the Notes app here, and obviously the music app's going to go away because it's unrelated to Notes at all. But you can also multitask directly from the shelf. Just drag one of the windows up, and now I can create a slide over, or I can create a split view, or I can create a full screen if I want to, which wouldn't make sense because you can simply tap it to go to full screen, right? Now tapping the multitasking menu will open up the shelf within that individual view. So here in the split view on the left side, I get the shelf, right? And I can scroll through just like I would on a full screen app, and I can easily switch between those particular Notes windows directly within that split view. Now I can also, when it's a smaller window, as you can see there, change the ratio, open up the shelf just like that. I can even do so from a slide over window if I want to, and I can scroll through all the open Notes app windows and switch between them with ease. And I could do so right here as well. Just a super flexible way to multitask. Now let's talk about multi-window tips. Here's how to know when multiple windows are open for an app within the app switcher. So you can see I have multiple instances of the Notes app, but notice next to it, each Notes app window, you see the little double window icon? That shows that there are multiple windows open for the Notes app. And it's not just the Notes app, you could see Carrot app. You see the little multi-window icon? So that shows that there is another Carrot app instance here as you can see right here, sharing it with Tweetbot in a split view. So that is a very handy thing to know. So you can quickly see there's 2 Tweetbot windows as well. That's the way you can quickly tell if you have multiple windows open for an app. Now, if you tap on those multi-window boxes, notice what happens here. So you see notes, tap on that box, and see it just eliminates everything else and just allows you to focus on all the open Notes app windows. That is super cool. You can also swap between each set of apps by tapping on those boxes. So you can see Tweetbot with the split view there with things. There's another Tweetbot window with the split view with Carrot. You see Carrot has multi-window, it has a standalone app, and it also has a split view with Safari. And of course, Safari shares a split view with Notes and so on, right? But let me show you a cool tip. I'm going to tap the boxes for Tweetbot to show all the open Tweetbot windows, and you can see Tweetbot shares with things and Carrot. And if I tap the boxes for Carrot, you see all the Carrot windows, and you have a couple of split views there, one with Safari. If I tap the Safari boxes, you can see the Safari open windows, and I could tap Notes. You can see how this is going though, basically allowing you to quickly swap between apps with multiple windows. Now, watch what happens when I long press on an app icon in the dock. I get the option to show all windows. If I tap on that, then it basically brings up that same view as if I had tapped those boxes to show just the Notes app windows. So I can also use the plus button in the upper right hand corner when I drill down into the Notes app, for instance. Tap the plus button, that will allow me to open up a new Notes app window. Same thing if I did so from the shelf. Same basic principle there. Now if I long press on the Notes app again, and I select show all windows, I can tap the plus button up there in the upper right hand corner there to open up a new window as well. Now, here's how to open, or reopen, I should say, close windows. So you can see I have a couple of Safari windows there. I'm going to drill down into Safari just by tapping the double boxes. And you see the 3 open Safari windows here. I'm going to close this window for Electrek. I'm going to close this 9 to 5 Mac window as well. And notice in the upper right hand corner, reopen close windows. If I tap on that, it reopens those closed windows just like that. And I can do the same thing when using show all windows. Shows just the Safari window, swipe up, and then reopen close window. Super simple, super easy. Now the center window works with individual emails, notes, or messages. So let me just show you real quick how you can see the app switcher here. You see the Mail app, see how it has the little double boxes indicating that there's multiple windows for the Mail app, but when you scroll through, you don't actually see more than one window. So if we open up the Mail app, you can see here that it's still showing just one window. But notice what happens when we open up the shelf in the Mail app by tapping on the app in the dock. You can see 2 additional windows there that weren't shown within the app switcher. These are center windows. You tap on them. This is for a new message. And when you tap on the multitasking menu, notice what you see here. You see a new center window option. So I can actually move that over to a split view, that individual message. And then of course I can move that over to a slide over window via the multitasking menu, just like that. Or I can move that back over to a center window by tapping the center option like that. And within the Mail app, you can directly access the shelf just by tapping this button here. Now, as I mentioned at the outset, center windows work in not only the Mail app, but also in Messages and in Notes. So if I long press on a note, I can select Open in New Window, and that will open in a center window. Now let's talk about Quick Note, because Quick Notes are really, when you think about it, related to multitasking. These are notes that you can enable from anywhere just by swiping from the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. They work almost like picture-in-picture, you know how you can move that over, hide it on the edge of the screen, etc. But that's the cool thing about the Quick Notes, is that you can invoke them wherever. And here's the really cool thing, is that you can actually link a Quick Note to a Safari website, for instance. You just tap add link, and that is linked directly to this particular Quick Note. So I can type in some things there about this particular website, whatever the case may be, any sort of notes. And then when I close that out and I open the Quick Note within the Notes app, I can actually link back to that site directly from that note. So I just simply tap on the link like that. It opens the website, and surfaces that particular note. And what's really cool is that you can highlight text within a Safari window, for instance, select new quick note, and there you go. You get a brand new note related to that text. And watch what happens when I tap on it. It actually scrolls directly to that area with the highlighted text, just like that. Now, the same principle for quick notes applies to email. I can invoke a quick note. This time, we're just going to create a new quick note. Just tap the new button there. And I'm going to add a link directly to this email and type some notes, and then I'm done. So now whenever I go back to my notes, I go to the quick note section, I can get right back to that email, and it surfaces that note just like that. It's just super handy, and I can swipe through all my notes. Folks, what I'm basically trying to say here is don't sleep on quick note. It's a great multitasking enhancement for the iPad. Of course, you can move it, hide it on the side of the screen, and invoke it from anywhere. And here's the thing, if you go into settings general with the latest version of iPadOS, you can allow left corner swipes for quick note as well. Not just right corner swipes, but left corner swipes. Of course, you can assign a left corner to a screenshot or either corner to a screenshot as well if you want to do that. So you just swipe like that with either your Apple Pencil or your finger to create a screenshot. But quick note is really the thing I want to focus on since we're talking about iPad multitasking. Now, let's talk about picture-in-picture because it is similar to quick note. I mean, you can invoke it automatically when watching a video or on a FaceTime call, or you can manually invoke the picture-in-picture as well. So here is SpongeBob. I'm just going to tap the picture-in-picture button in the upper left-hand corner. So there we go. Similar to quick note, you can move it all in all four quadrants of the screen like this. And you can multitask with picture-in-picture. That's sort of the whole point of that. So you can open up other apps, still watching your video, swipe through apps, still watching your video. It stays surfaced at the top of the screen. And in full screen, you can actually invoke picture-in-picture automatically. When you swipe up to go back to the home screen, it will stay on top like that. Now, with picture-in-picture, you can, of course, pinch to make it smaller. Various different levels of size there. Move it to the various corners on your iPad. And then even hide it by swiping over to the left or swiping over to the right, similar to how you would hide a slide over window like that. You see the little grabber there? You can do so either side. So picture-in-picture is definitely handy, but here's what's really cool. Multitasking is ridiculous on the iPad. So here I have a split view, right? I have a picture-in-picture. There's 3 different apps at the same time. I'm going to open up a slide over, 4 different apps at the same time. And now I'm going to open up a quick note here, but notice I can interact with all these, still watching the video, but now I'm going to open up a quick note, 5 different apps simultaneously at the same time, thanks to iPadOS 15 multitasking. Super, super powerful, folks. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section. What do you think about iPadOS multitasking? Did you know all these tips? Let me know which ones you didn't know down below in the comments section, and be sure to check back because we have part 2 coming soon. This is Jeff with 9 to 5 Mac. Special thanks to iMazing for sponsoring 9 to 5 Mac. iMazing is made by Apple fans and it's already fully compatible with iOS 15, iPadOS 15, and it's ready for macOS Monterey. Use it to do things like easily transfer music and videos to your devices or download and install iOS apps and manage an app library right on your desktop. Click the link in the description to get 30% off iMazing for a limited time.